watching the News Hour Agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. There have been dramatic developments over the last 24 hours over the unfortunate case of an elderly Muslim gentleman in the Loni area of Ghaziabad, very, very close to the national capital, Delhi, being beaten up. In fact, after the police first debunked the narrative being spread that he was attacked for his religion and forced to chant Jai Shri Ram, today the Uttar Pradesh police actually went ahead and lodged FIRs against 9 entities. The FIR was against 7 individuals, and the platform where these videos and these opinion news reports calling it a communal incident was circulated. The charge was that this attack was never a communal one, and the videos were deliberately manipulated and used in a fashion that the impression would be conveyed that a Muslim man was picked up, attacked for his religion, and made to deliberately chant communally colored slogans. Well, here are the charges that have now been leveled in the FIR. That the statements were made with a clear intention to spread hostility between Hindu and Muslims and to create a religious divide. Additionally, the FIR also says that the tweets that were made were done in a coordinated fashion. It reeks of a conspiracy, and also the opinion was propagated on a large scale in order to create disaffection.
ट्विटर कम्युनिकेशन इंडिया प्राइवेट लिमिटेड द्वारा भी उक्त धार्मिक संवेदनशील झूठे ट्वीट्स को हटाने के लिए भी कोई कार्रवाई नहीं की गई। जनपद गाजियाबाद के थाना लोनी में इन सभी के विरुद्ध मुकदमा अपराध संख्या 502/21 सुसंगत धाराओं में दर्ज किया गया है, जिनमें साक्ष्य के आधार पर कड़ी कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
But the police action is now being criticized as a crackdown, not just on free speech, but also on opinion. A warning to people to stay quiet, and also a case of misplaced priorities by the center in times of a pandemic. Most people have specifically asked about whether Twitter is being targeted as a platform because it gives space, it gives voice to the opposition and also to dissenters, and has started turning into a thorn in the flesh for the government of India.
अगर सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं होता तो शायद इस तरह की घटना पर पुलिस खामोशी इख्तियार कर लेती या नज़रअंदाज करती, कार्रवाई नहीं करती। अब दबाव में मुकदमा दर्ज हुआ, कार्रवाई हुई, तो ट्विटर पे मुकदमा दर्ज करना कि उन्होंने वीडियो रोका नहीं। अगर फेक वीडियो हो तो कार्रवाई करिए। सच्चाई लोगों तक गई, दबाव बना, मुकदमा दर्ज हुआ। अब ट्विटर को गुनहगार बनाना हमें लगता है ये गलत बात है।
इस देश के अंदर सभी जानते हैं कि जाति धर्म की राजनीति कौन करता है, कौन है जो जाति धर्म की राजनीति को बढ़ावा देता है, किसी से नहीं छुपा है। मैं तो उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार से कहूंगा कि सरकार की जिम्मेदारी होती है कि उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर में कोई व्यक्ति चाहे किसी भी जाति धर्म का हो, उसकी सुरक्षा करना सरकार की जिम्मेदारी होती है, और उसका लॉ एंड ऑर्डर मेंटेन करना भी सरकार की जिम्मेदारी होती है। सरकार अपनी जिम्मेदारी से नहीं भाग सकती, ये तय है।
The medium on which you built your castle, suddenly there are voices opposing you, and those voices are gaining traction. That threatens you. Don't make it a banana republic. If there are rules, let it. Don't go for a headline management, setting aside important issues.
राहुल गांधी जी ने और ओवैसी, शोरा भास्कर और तमाम जो इस देश को तोड़ना चाहते हैं, और भगवान श्री राम के भक्तों पर जिस तरह सीधा सीधा हमला किया गया है, श्री राम भक्तों ने इस तरह का नहीं करना चाहिए। और जबकि इसमें मुस्लिम युवक भी शामिल हैं, तो जब मुस्लिम युवक शामिल है तो इससे साफ पता चलता है कि एक साजिश का हिस्सा है, और इस साजिश में राहुल गांधी, ओवैसी और तमाम लोग शामिल हैं। इसकी जाँच हो और इस रासुका के तहत मुकदमा दर्ज हो, ये हमने मांग की।
But is it really that simple? Is it really a case of voices being stifled or opinion being policed? Is it a case of shooting the messenger? Because let's take a close look at the messenger itself. Here it seems that a Pandora's box has been opened about what is free speech and how does one balance it with law and order of the country, and more importantly, the subjectivity of the medium itself. How is it that Twitter gets to decide what is manipulated media and what is genuine fact, is that going to be governed by a social media platform or the law of the country? And if indeed a social media platform begins to play that role and is actively involved in propagating of false information, should they then be made answerable for it? And before we get into the big debate, here is a Big Times Now exclusive. For the very first time on camera, you are going to hear one of the accused in this case. The man you will hear in just 30 seconds from now is Saddam. Now, incidentally, before you hear Saddam, keep in mind that this was called the attack of a crazed Hindutva mob upon a Muslim man. The man you will hear is the one who actually took the elderly Muslim gentleman on his scooter to the house of the main accused, Pravesh Gujar. And Saddam was also witness to the beating that was administered to the elderly gentleman by Pravesh, Adil, and other suspects. Listen in for the first time to the confession of the accused, one of the several accused, in the beating of a Muslim man in Loni. It's a Times Now exclusive.
इंतजार भाई बोले मुझसे इनको लेके पंथला चला गया परवेज़ के यहाँ पर। मैं चला गया, परवेज़ का फ़ोन आता रास्ते में, तो परवेज़ बोला कहाँ पर? मैं बोला रास्ते में। उनको आ लिया 5 मिनट में, ठीक है आ जा। तो वहाँ गया सर, तो मैं सूफी को लेके पहुँच गया। तो वहाँ पर किसी ने, परवेज़ ने फ़ोन करा आदिल को। आदिल के साथ 3-4 लड़के आए। तो फिर इंतजार भाई के पास फ़ोन करा परवेज़ ने। उनके ऐसे सूफी जी ऐसे कह रहे हैं, तेने इंतजार ने करवाया है तेरे ऊपर, अपना घर बस करवाने के ऊपर। उनके इसके घर को मेरे ऊपर करवा दे, ठीक है। तो सर इनमें फिर इंतजार को बुलाया वहाँ पर। तो सूफी वहाँ पर नाट गया, सूफी वहाँ पर नाटने के बाद सर इनमें आपस में वहाँ पर झगड़ा बन गया। इनमें झगड़ा बनने के बाद इनकी दाढ़ी काट दी गई कल्लू ने। वहाँ पर मौजूद थे, ये 10-12 लड़के थे मौजूद थे वहाँ पर, परवेज़ के भी थे 5-6 लड़के, ठीक है सर। तो वहाँ पर आने के बाद अनस, आवेश, आदिल, बाबू बिहारी और आवेश, ये सर।
आप कहाँ थे वहाँ उस समय?
जी सर।
आप उस समय कहाँ थे?
मौजूद था सर मैं वहाँ पर।
All right, joining us on the debate, Tuhin Sinha, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Nikhil Mehra, lawyer, Varis Pathan, National Spokesperson of AIMIM, Qamar Zaman Chaudhary, leader of the Congress, Anurag Bhadoria, National Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. To you, I'm going to ask the first question. Mr. Bhadoria, अभी आपने सद्दाम की बात सुनी। ये साफ बोल रहे हैं कि जो हिंदुत्व मॉब की आप बात कर रहे हैं, उस हिंदुत्व मॉब में खुद सद्दाम भी शामिल थे और खुद अपनी मोटरसाइकिल पर इनको बिठा करके ले गए थे, विक्टिम को बिठा करके प्रवेश के घर ले गए थे। अब तो मानेंगे कि ये पूरा हिंदुत्व मॉब की थ्योरी झूठ थी। तो जिन्होंने हिंदुत्व मॉब की बात फैलाई है उन पे एक्शन तो होना चाहिए ना।
देखिए, सवाल यहाँ पे लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का है। मैं आपको साफ बोलूं कि उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर में किसी की भी इतनी हिम्मत कैसे हो जाती है कि किसी व्यक्ति को आप पीटने के लिए पहुंच जाएंगे और पीट देंगे। इसके मतलब पुलिस का खौफ उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर में खत्म हुआ है। लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का कोई डर नहीं है, किसी को पुलिस प्रशासन का कोई डर नहीं है, किसी को कोई भी पीट सकता है। सवाल ये नहीं है जिस तरह का प्रोपेगेंडा चलाना भारतीय जनता पार्टी
लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की बात कर रहे हैं आप, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की बात कर रहे हैं आप। अपने जो मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट है ना ST हसन, उनकी बात आपको थोड़ी देर में सुना दूंगी। वो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, वो साफ साफ कह रहे हैं कि उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार अभी भी सच को छुपा रही है। एक सेकंड आप रुकिए, क्योंकि हमारे संवाददाता प्रियांक त्रिपाठी भी हमारे साथ जुड़ गए। ये एक सेकंड प्रियांक त्रिपाठी की बात सुन लेते हैं, क्योंकि ये इस केस को बहुत करीब से देख रहे हैं। प्रियांक त्रिपाठी, टेल आवर व्यूअर्स, इज दिस ऑल मेड अप? बिकॉज even now the political allegation is that the reality is somewhere else, that the victim's family is saying we had filed a complaint saying that he was made to chant Jai Shri Ram, and all of this is now being cooked up by the police. Purely through your observation, what are the facts and just the facts?
See, Padmaja, there is no denying about the fact that the victim did not disclose that he used to sell amulets to the accused family, and he was known to them. So, from the very starting of this particular incident, and what would have been the reason of this particular assault, was victim hiding the fact that he was a local tantric kind of person, and he was selling these tabis to the victim family. When things went very ugly in the victim family, he wanted to approach in the accused family, he wanted to approach the accused, but that did not happen. Later to that, what we got to know through a series of observation while talking to all the locals as well as the police official, as well as we are the only channel, Padmaja, which has spoken to all the victims in this case, including the victim's brother, his son, as well as
the first time you've heard an accused. Tell us, how is Saddam related to Pravesh, the victim, Adil, Babu Bihari? How are they all connected? Join the dots for us, Priyank.
See, Saddam is the one, Padmaja, who took the victim to the accused's house, and as the victim narrated that he was abducted in an auto, which is false. Saddam was the one who took him in a scooty to the victim's house. एक scooty पे वो उसको वहाँ पे लेके गया, and later to that, what happened was an attack on vengeance, which was taken by the accused Parvesh. He wanted to take revenge from the victim because his wife had a miscarriage. So all these parties knew each other. The accused side also had a mix numbers of Hindus and Muslims. So the narrative which was being built up that there were only Hindus who had assaulted a Muslim only because he was a Muslim is certainly not true. What had happened, Padmaja, this is what I can sense after talking to so many people, is that the victim, who's Abdul in this case, sold a tabiz to the victims, to the accused family, and he said that things will be very okay. That did not happen, and the accused family, who was a victim at that time, they wanted to take revenge, henceforth they attacked him.
And this was a despicable mob, but it was not a communal mob. And you've heard one of the members of that mob, Mr. Bhadoria, a man named Saddam, saying, मैं लेके गया, मेरे सामने उनको पीटा, पीटने वालों में आदिल भी शामिल था. और आज भी आपके सांसद ये कह रहे हैं कि भाई हिंदुओं ने मारा है मुसलमान आदमी को और योगी सरकार झूठ बोल रही है. कितना उसके आगे झूठ फैलाएंगे?
देखिए, इस देश के अंदर में कानून अपना काम करता है. उत्तर प्रदेश की पुलिस की तो आप बात ही मत करो, उसके बारे में तो मैं ज्यादा कुछ नहीं बोलना चाहता. वो तो आपने देखा ही हाथरस में किस तरह से रात के अंधेरे में एक बच्ची का अंतिम संस्कार कर दिया था, कैसे एक पत्रकार की हत्या को उन्होंने एक्सीडेंट बताया था, किस तरह से यहाँ पे आप देख रहे शराब माफिया लगातार अपना उनका कच्चा शराब और जहरीली शराब का काम चल रहा है और पुलिस वहीं बैठी. बात पुलिस की नहीं है, बात यह है कि समाज के अंदर में कोई व्यक्ति अगर किसी तरह की इस तरह की जाति धर्म की राजनीति करता है, कौन है? तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी, सबको पता है इस देश के अंदर में कौन जाति धर्म की राजनीति करता है और कौन इस बात.
अरे राजनीति तो आप कर रहे हैं, ये तो क्राइम था अनुराग जी, आपने उसको राजनीति में बदल दिया.
मैं तो आपको बोल रहा हूँ, भारतीय जनता
10 आदमियों ने एक बेचारे बूढ़े आदमी को मारा, वो क्राइम था, उसको इन्वेस्टिगेट करना चाहिए. उसमें राजनीति तो आप लेके रहे.
मौत का है, उसके बारे में डिबेट क्यों नहीं कराना चाहती भारतीय जनता पार्टी? मुद्दे को डाइवर्ट क्यों कर रही है? डाइवर्ट करना चाहती है.
अरे क्योंकि डिबेट तो आप इन चीजों पे कराते हैं अनुराग जी. जब आपका जाकर के एक मेंबर है वो वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करवाता है और उसको फैलाता है.
करना चाहती वो यहाँ पे एक माहौल क्रिएट करना.
चर्चा तो आप हिंदू मुस्लिम में बदल रहे हैं.
उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर में 4.5 साल तक कोई काम नहीं किया है, काम तो गिना नहीं पाएगा. तो चलो इस तरह से कुछ.
अनुराग जी, आप मुद्दे को भटका क्यों रहे हैं? मैं आपसे साफ साफ बोल रही हूँ कि आपके जो मेंबर्स हैं वो हिंदू मुस्लिम की राजनीति फैला रहे हैं उत्तर प्रदेश में, झूठ फैला रहे हैं, और फिर उनके ऊपर एक्शन भी ना हो, और जब एक्शन हो तो आप कहें कि भैया ये तो पुलिस की बर्बरता है.
अरे हम जो कह रहे हो आप नहीं समझ में आ रहा आपके. मैं कह रहा हूँ कि इस तरह की राजनीति भारतीय जनता पार्टी करती है.
मैं आपको आपके सांसद की बात,
विकास की राजनीति
आपने कब कहा? चलिए आपको आपके सांसद जो आपके ऑनरेबल मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट है उनकी बात सुनवा देते हैं. वो तो आज तक इस बात पर काबिज है कि ये हिंदू मुस्लिम का झगड़ा था. सुना देते हैं आपको एसटी हसन की बात. चलिए सुनते हैं.
ये बहुत ही नीच और गिरी हुई हरकतें इस वक्त हमारे उत्तर प्रदेश में हो रही हैं. एक बुजुर्ग के साथ जो जिस तरह से व्यवहार हुआ है वो नाकाबिले बर्दाश्त है. सरकार को चाहिए कि जो कल्प्रिट हैं, जिन लोगों ने ये काम करा है, उनको जल्द से जल्द सज़ा दें. और हमें अब उम्मीद है सरकार से कि इसमें सख्त एक्शन लेगी। जिन लोगों ने इसे वायरल करा है उन पे जो धाराएं वायरल करने की हैं वो लगे, वो अलग बात है। ट्विटर के ऊपर भी आपने धारा लगा दी क्योंकि ट्विटर हमारे कानून को नहीं मान रहा है। तो अगर मान लो कोई वाक़या होता है देश के अंदर या प्रदेश के अंदर और आप लोग अपने मीडिया से या ट्विटर से या व्हाट्सएप से किसी चीज़ को दिखाते हो तो आप लोगों के ख़िलाफ़ भी इसका मतलब FIR हो जाएगी क्या लेटरिन को किसी चीज़ से ढक दिया जाए तो कि उसकी क्वालिटी बदल जाएगी? वाक़या तो हुआ।
So the point is this about shooting the messenger तुहीन सिन्हा? अनुराग भदौरिया कह रहे हैं, ST हसन कह रहे हैं कि अगर कोई चीज है उसको उजागर करने के लिए ट्विटर का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, प्रॉब्लम क्या है?
Padmaja, we know for a fact now that these so-called fact news checkers are part of an organized fake news peddling mafia. और भदौरिया जी तो एक छोटे खिलाड़ी है. The kingpin of this mafia is none other than Rahul Gandhi, because immediately, even after the UP police had very clearly laid out facts, Rahul Gandhi kept insinuating that these attacks were in the name of Lord Shri Ram. So ये fake news peddling जो है आज एक माफिया बन चुका है, जो समाजवादी पार्टी और कांग्रेस जिसका सहारा ले रही है, ये सोच कर कि यूपी के इलेक्शन के पहले वो कम्युनल दंगे भड़का सकती है, but those efforts have been completely circumvented and thwarted. Now coming to Twitter by virtue of its non-compliance, by sheer recalcitrance and not adhering to something as basic as the intermediary guidelines which were issued by the government, has clearly made its bipartisan role very clear. And therefore, I think Yogi ji has set the right example by filing FIRs against all of these people involved in the act. And Sabha Naqvi, Zubair, and all of these for a long time have been institutionalizing this fake news peddling business. I only wish Swara Bhaskar and Arfa Khanum were also part of this FIR, but this entire fake
because Mr. Waris Pathan, now a BJP MLA, is also saying that Asaduddin Owaisi साहब के ऊपर होनी चाहिए FIR. तुहीन सिन्हा तो कह रहे हैं कि कुछ एक्टर्स के ऊपर होनी चाहिए, but BJP MLA is saying that I am going to file an FIR against the chief of your party, Mr. Owaisi, and Rahul Gandhi.
First and foremost, let me tell you, today the BJP government has filed FIR on the Twitter. The entire country is fighting against Corona, and the BJP government is fighting against Twitter. They want to ban Twitter. They want to control the Twitter so that nobody speaks against Modi and the BJP government, which I think so it won't happen. Now coming to the Loni case, wherein the victim was assaulted, kindly see the statement of his own son. Why does your cameraman go to his place and speak to his son, who's already spoken to several channels, and he has clearly stated that our work is not.
I am very glad you asked. I am very glad you asked. I was going to come to that. So you are saying, just a second. But you are saying that you should believe the son, Mr. Pathan. No, just a second. Do not say that we are not putting out anyone's version, because I am going to come to exactly that in the next question. But I played out for you a man called Saddam. Are you saying that Saddam's version should not be believed? You will believe what is convenient for you.
Kindly also play the version of Adil's brother, who said that Adil...
I will play. Now first tell me your reaction to Saddam. I have played for you... Just a second. I have played for you...
There are two videos.
An accused.
Allow me. There are two videos.
I have played for you the police. I have played for you the actual video, which has got no audio of Jai Shri Ram. But you will keep saying, I will ignore all of this, Mr. Pathan, and I am going to believe this one family only.
72-year aged man is being thrashed and his beard is being chopped off by scissors. There is a second video wherein a Samajwadi party leader is sitting alongside
by a man called Adil.
This man,
by a man called Pravesh, by a man called Saddam. It is terrible that he's being beaten and his beard chopped. But this is not a Hindutva mob.
Several media has reported, top newspapers have reported, top news channels have shown that. So will the Modi government charge everybody, file FIR against all? And there are several hundreds and thousands of people at Twitter retweeted because there are videos. Let the police investigate the matter. If the police comes to a conclusion that the videos are concocted,
Nikhil Mehra, now this is a fear being expressed by many, where this was a story that came 2 days ago. Everyone reported it as a story. Why have selectively only 7 individuals and a platform been picked up? By this logic, everyone should be booked, all newspapers, etc.
He has given
Nikhil
written
Mehra,
complaint
is this
to the
cherry
police.
picking and going after specific targets?
Look,
Sir, I am
first
asking
and
your
foremost-
question only. Why cherry pick and go after specific targets, including a platform? Nikhil Mehra.
Sure. First and foremost, in the law, there is no issue of cherry picking. The prosecution has the option of picking its accused. So the issue now is, why is Twitter involved? It is because Twitter is involved, everybody else is also involved. And Twitter is involved for reasons completely unrelated to this case. Now, it has chosen not to comply with certain regulations. Its intermediary status, as per the government, as of today, no longer exists. That makes it liable for, as a publisher, as a media house publisher, for this kind of manipulated media being spread. Now, you ask, why not others? Because you are not the originator of this manipulated media. Manipulated media originated first and foremost on Twitter. Now, other news medium will pick it up to say, this is what has come about. That is your protection as media persons. You are allowed to report faithfully on what you have witnessed. When that video turns out to be fake, that is the allegation by the UP police, they then file an FIR against those who propagated this, who could have had the knowledge of its being fake, and who propagated this nonetheless. So the first person that they go after, besides Twitter, is Mohammed Zubair, on the idea that you have, right at the outset, published this video saying that the words Jai Shri Ram was said, but you published a video without any audio. Your allegation pertains to the spoken word, but the audio doesn't exist in the video. Why is that? So you may well have had knowledge that the audio would not play out the facade that you wanted, and nonetheless you still publish the video. So this is why they would pick and choose the individuals that they have in this case.
Mr. Pathan, does that answer your question? This is not about going after dissenting voices. This is about going after those who are spreading fake news under the garb of fact check and journalism and opinion. Waris
The son
Pathan.
of the victim, Abdul Samad, has said that they have given a written complaint to the Ghaziabad police. In that complaint, they have mentioned what happened. In that, it was clearly stated that he was forced to chant JSR, which he did not. So he was stressed. Why does the police not take that into consideration? No cognizance of it.
Mr. Pathan, even that version has been taken. That version has been taken. The point is not that. Waris Pathan, the point is that it is up to the police to carry out the investigation. You cannot carry out a public investigation on a social media platform and say Hindutva mob ne kar diya and I am ashamed to live in this country because Hindu nationalism is running riot. That is the problem. Nobody is saying that there should be a police investigation. The police investigation, as a matter of fact, started on the 7th of June itself. 1 week before all of this social media narrative building began. On the 7th of June, the FIR had already been lodged and the investigation had been started on the complaint of the victim. But since you said, I will play out for you what the victim, you're talking about the victim's family, we went to the victim himself, Mr. Pathan, and we got him to speak on camera what is his version. Let's listen in to the victim and then Tuhin Sinha, I'll come to you. Let's listen to the gentleman.
आपका एक कंप्लेन कॉपी है, पुलिस अपना एक कंप्लेन कॉपी दिखा रही है. आपके कंप्लेन कॉपी में ये लिखा है कि आपको जय श्री राम बुलवाया गया आपसे और आपको पीटा गया, लेकिन पुलिस के कंप्लेन कॉपी में जय श्री राम लिखा नहीं है. तो ये कौन झूठ बोल रहा है इसमें?
भैया वही झूठ बोल रहे होंगे, मैं तो झूठ ना बोल रहा, उन्होंने झूठ बोला होगा.
तो आपके साथ ये हुआ था घटना?
हाँ, घटना बहुत हुआ मेरे साथ में.
पुलिस का कहना है कि आपको उमेद जी भड़का रहे हैं.
नहीं, बेचारे उम्मीद में आने कोई नहीं भड़का रहा, ना कुछ कह रहा, बस से.
अच्छा, एक और चीज पुलिस कह रही है कि आपका तावीज का बिजनेस था
नहीं,
और आप उनको तावीज देने
नहीं, ऐसी सब
पुश्तैनी काम
हमारा कारपेंट, लकड़ी का कारपेंटिंग है, वो बनाने को कुछ.
So Tuhin Sinha, you are saying that this was not a hate crime. The victim still insists that you are manipulating the investigation.
My friend Waris Pathan is a senior lawyer, but unfortunately his notorious political affiliation does not make him speak like one. proper due investigation has taken place by the UP police, and if these people who initially propagated the story, if they were so convinced about it, why did they take back their own story? I would trust UP police. There are so many people who had curated the story, who had propagated the story. Do you think all of them would take down their story, would regret that story merely based upon UP police's reports, which they anyway have no respect for UP police, these fake news peddlers. So if they took down the story, they realized and they in fact confessed that what they had put forth was an unauthenticated report. Unfortunately, Mr. Waris Pathan's political affiliation will not make him see this entire case with objectivity. I would trust the version of Saddam and many others who have corroborated the version that this was an attack born out of personal enmity or out of whatever superstition that the victim is supposed to have propagated, and that resulted in some bad luck for the victim.
Waris Pathan.
Now you have seen the Times Now reporter went there, he was asking him question, and the victim himself said that yes, I was forced to chant that, and the police is not taking on the proper statements. So let an investigation be done. Now you are listening from
investigation to chal rahi hai.
Now on this,
come on to
investigation तो चल रही है.
Listen to what the victim says.
आप जो है
Listen to what the
on this, let me say two things, Waris Pathan. Let me say two things.
आपको लगता है ये सारे लोग जो है
and let me give you the facts.
Nobody coerced me to make
Let me say two things and let me give you the facts. वारिस पठान साहब, आप तो उनके सिर्फ स्टेटमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं. मैं आपको कागज दिखाऊंगी कि 7 तारीख को इन्हीं जनाब ने, जो कि आज जय श्री राम की बात कर रहे हैं, एक लिखित कंप्लेंट दी जिसमें उन्होंने अपना सिग्नेचर किया है और एक परवेज नाम के विटनेस ने सिग्नेचर किया है जिसमें उन्होंने जय श्री राम की कोई बात नहीं कही. 7 तारीख को ही एक एफआईआर किया गया जिसमें इन विक्टिम ने फिर अपने सिग्नेचर्स किए हैं जिसमें जय श्री राम की कोई बात नहीं कही गई है. और अचानक से अब ये आकर के एक हफ्ते के बाद ये स्टेटमेंट देते हैं, कहते हैं कि मुझे जय श्री राम बुलवाया गया. सवाल बड़ा साफ है कि ये दोनों डॉक्यूमेंट्स अब अदालत के सामने हैं. अगर ये दोनों डॉक्यूमेंट सही हैं या सही नहीं है तो इस पे इन साहब ने अपने हस्ताक्षर क्यों किए? Point number 1. And point number 2 is, and which is where I want to bring you back in, Nikhil Mehra, people are missing the woods for the trees. Nobody can judge about what really happened in this case. The point here is, can a parallel narrative building and adjudication of this crime happen on social media? And that is where the government has stepped in to say, let the police investigate. You cannot spread facts or misinformation on social media. And if you do, we will act, isn't it?
So, just to clarify first up, as you had pointed out, there is a complaint filed by the victim. An investigation occurs pursuant to that complaint. And in the course of that complaint, that video is taken in possession by the police and that video is examined. After the examination of the video, they find that there is nothing remotely related to a communal incident in this. It is a heinous question of law and order violation, no doubt, of physical harm being brought upon an individual. But there was nothing that was of a communal angle. Now they find, a few days later, that a particular narrative is being drawn up on Twitter and is being spread virally. And that's when they act to say, this is an effort to, so therefore the conventional sections come into it, 153A, 295A, 505, that is to say that you're inciting violence on these grounds. So there is a certain chronology is all I'd like to point out. It is not as if the video came out of nowhere. The video came into the police's possession. Based on the video, the police finds there is nothing that is said of the nature that is being spread on Twitter. And then based on that, they then go and start prosecutions against those who are spreading this. It's as simple as that.
Mr. Qamar Zaman Chaudhary, and even after all of this, your leader in Bihar, who in fact is one of the accused, who has an FIR, Maskur Usmani, has today put out a statement saying, in the recent brutality leashed out against a 72-year-old man in Loni, Ghaziabad by religious fanatics, an FIR has been slapped against activist media persons. Despite all of that, your leader is still calling it an attack by religious fanatics. If this is not misinformation, then what is? And what do you expect the police to do?
You cannot isolate a particular statement from a particular leader in generalizing the entire Congress party, madam. Here, the video is there as an evidence.
Sir, I am isolating the statement because he fought on a Congress ticket in the Bihar elections won, and he is one of the people named in the FIR.
No, madam,
so we have to address it. And he still persists in spreading misinformation.
Let me just, Padmaja ji, misinformation or right information, let the courts decide what is the actual information. Now that an FIR, my point here is not about the incident, about it. A video has gone viral, which has been shared by thousands of people across India. That comes on the backdrop of severe Islamophobic crimes committed against Muslims in different parts of India. You cannot deny that. Few days ago, Karnisana had threatened Muslims of killing it. We had a gym trainer being killed in UP. Can you deny those incidents? Those are all Islamophobic violence occurring against Muslims. Now the point here is whether this video that went viral has any communal angle to this or not. That is the question. Now you cannot shoot the messenger for that. You have found
I have already showed you with witnesses that there is no communal angle. I don't understand what is the question you are asking. It has already been borne out that there is no communal angle, or at least it hasn't been proven. Yet it was projected as such across social media.
You have to understand the context of the story, madam. Madam, here the issue is a crime has been committed. The video went viral, wherein an old Muslim man whose beard is being cut. Now that comes back to the backdrop of certain comments made by the right-wing ecosystem.
How does beard being cut becomes Islamophobic, bhai? How does beard being cut become Islamophobic? If a Muslim man is among the people who is doing it, it still is Islamophobic.
एक म्यूटेड वीडियो में आपको क्या क्या सुनाई पड़ रहा था? एक म्यूटेड वीडियो में आप अपनी मनगढ़ंत बातें
No, I am not going with the specifics of the video, madam.
The Sharia law in India, who said what पार्टी के एक सिटिंग एमपी ये कह रहे थे कि कोरोना इसलिए कोरोना का कहर भारत में हुआ क्योंकि शरिया लॉ नहीं हुआ, तो ये लोग को तो राम जय श्री राम वैसे भी जय श्री राम स्लोगन से आपत्ति होगी, वैसे भी ये लोग करेंगे। जय श्री राम को बदनाम करना बंद करिए। Every assault in India seems to be, accompanied by Jai Shri Ram slogan, which is an absolute lie. Stop hallucinating. In a muted video, you cannot make out anything. So why are you juxtaposing the slogan that there is none?
And for Anurag Bhadoria and for the benefit of Varis Pathan, since you are so interested in the statement of one side, I think it's also important that you listen to the family of the accused Pravesh Gujar. Today they are saying that they have no knowledge of any tabiz, they do not know the accused at all. Anurag ji, इससे पहले कि आप बोले, आप प्रवेश गुजर की जो फैमिली है उसका वर्जन भी सुन लीजिए. तो in addition to all the eyewitnesses, the statements, the police version, the FIR, we are getting you the statements of the actual people involved as well. Let's listen.
ये हाफिज जी है, इन पे जो परवेश को दिक्कत सी ही इसने इंतजार तक ही अगर भाई मेरे पर घर में दिक्कत सी चल रही है, यानी कि तो ठीक है मैं बुला दूंगा. ये पहले महीना आया जब पर्ची वर्ची दे के गया, तबीज पर्ची, जब तसर ना हुआ दूसरे महीना आया तो ठीक ठाक देगा. फिर जो बहू का 6 महीना का बच्चा है पेट में, लड़का है वो खराब होगा, पित्ते ही पर्ची न तजीब वो पहन लिया गले में, उससे ही बालक खराब होगा. और मंदिर में आग लग गई. अच्छा. और उसके पापा का एक्सीडेंट होगा. फिर जब तीसरी बार
मतलब घर की सारी चीजें खराब होने लगी,
सारी चीजें खराब होने लगे घर की, घर में फुल परेशानी होगी. लड़का भी पता ना कैसा होगा, घर में भी लड़ाई झगड़े हो लगे, गेटन पे चिपका दी पर्ची. खोड़ी वाले की पूजा हुआ, उसकी मम्मी कह लगी भैया ने हटा दे, हमारे तो बहुत दिक्कत होगी, तो हटा दी. फिर जब वो तीसरी बार आया तो आया इंतजार के 11:30 की गया स्कूटी पे, यहाँ गाड़ी में ही 6 में होने 2 रैपट उसका मार दिया.
आपसे रंजिश, अनुराग भदौरिया.
मैं बोलूं, देखिए मैंने आपको पहले ही बताया, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास अभी जवाब नहीं अयोध्या के मामले में, जहाँ पे सवाल उठ रहे हैं. जवाब नहीं कोरोना का, जवाब नहीं बेरोजगारी महंगाई का ध्यान भटकाने के लिए इस तरह की घटना को हाईलाइट करने में लगे। देखिए पूरे 2 दिन से इस घटना को हाईलाइट कर रहे हैं। कोरोना से अभी भी लोग तड़प के मर रहे हैं पद्मजा जी, जिसके बारे में
अरे घटना को किसने हाईलाइट किया?
अभी भी अयोध्या के ट्रस्ट में
घटना को क्या तुहिन सिन्हा ने हाईलाइट किया
श्रद्धा ने
या भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने वीडियो सर्कुलेट किया?
तैयार है।
जय श्री राम की बात किसने कही? ओवैसी साहब, वारिस पठान साहब कह रहे थे, आपकी पार्टी कर रही थी।
और सोशल मीडिया पे भी अपने आप अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी छीनना चाहती है। ये समस्या हमारे देश के अंदर में है, क्योंकि देश के अंदर में समस्या इस बात की है कि अपने मुद्दों से ध्यान भटकाती है बीजेपी। और
अगर आप भटकाने की बात कर रहे हैं तो सबसे ज्यादा भटका तो फिर वारिस पठान रहे हैं, क्योंकि ओवैसी साहब सबसे आगे जा जाके इस वीडियो को हाईलाइट कर रहे थे और कह रहे थे कि जय श्री राम के नाम पे लोग पिट रहे हैं। तो फिर आपका झगड़ा वारिस पठान से होना चाहिए। वारिस पठान,
Since the Modi government has come to power in the last 7 years, what we are seeing is every day some or the other incidents is being taken place in the name of JSR, in the name of cow. Sometimes they lynch, in the name of JSR they mob lynch. And what happens after the mob lynching? Accused is arrested, he's sent to jail, he comes out on bail, and the BJP leaders go there, garlanding, offer him sweets, and he's made a hero. Recently, what we saw in Haryana, Mewat, one boy named Asif was mob lynched. His Mahapanchayat was organized.
I think you've hit the nail on the head when you say that after the Modi government has come to power. It's true, we do hear of these episodes, unfortunately, very, very frequently. And I have to say, unfortunately, very, very frequently, it also turns out that facts do not quite add up. And most of them turn out to be, or a lot of them at least, turn out to be manipulated media. The last question, and actually the most important one in them all, Nikhil Mehra, is what I want to ask you. Ultimately, who decides what is fact and what is manipulated? Why does a Sambit Patra get tagged manipulated on Twitter, but something like this is not flagged up at all? How? Nikhil Mehra.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Please go on.
Yeah. No, I'm saying Twitter had a free run on these issues so far. That free run is now over. Their intermediary status is gone. The steps that are available to them is to take this FIR, for example, challenge it in court, and say, no, we still remain an intermediary because of the nature of the platform, because we still remain a third-party platform, the content is not ours, so on and so forth. They will still say that the technology means that we are nonetheless a intermediary. The response from the government side, from the prosecution side, will be, no, you choose what to call manipulated, what not to call manipulated. You choose which particular actions of the government to adhere to, which not to adhere to. That means inherently you are exercising editorial judgment. And if you are exercising editorial judgment, then you have, in a particular case, in this particular case, exercised editorial judgment without any background check and aided and abetted the spread of what the UP police says is a fake video, the manipulated video. So all of that, the safe harbor for this manipulated video, that manipulated video, all of that is now gone. Of course, they are free to challenge the regulation. They are free to challenge the notification. They may say this is contrary to the constitution in some form or the other. That's a different matter. I mean, that is obviously for the courts to decide. But Twitter's old powers of choosing what is manipulated, their powers of choosing which tweets to pull down, their powers of choosing, all of this is now gone. Because now what they'll have to do is to be hypersensitive about Indian law, as much as the rest of us individuals.
Absolutely. And thought control and narrative building by proxy cannot continue in this fashion. Facts, verification, legality will be decided by the Indian legal system and nobody else. And that really is the crux of this debate. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, for having joined me on Debate One.